play this big game and then just fuck off. So if he plays 8 more years, gets a fair few finals, that brings him to just under 380-ish. He's right there.
G'day everyone, welcome back to Zero Access Footy, episode number 13. We have once again got another week. Sorry.
Why are you laughing the second you look at me? That's so... Are you serious?
But we've got some fantastic footy once again. I think we discussed this just before we started recording. Probably the most chaotic week of football we've had this year so far. It's been like a really enjoyable week for just surprising results, both positive and negative for a lot of teams. But in terms of starting the week off, we got our grand final rematch, Brisbane versus Geelong, and ended up going to the bridesmaids of last year, the second place Geelong Cats.
I've never heard that term before.
So is it? Always the bride, never the bridesmaid? No, other way around. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's what it's referencing.
Sydney.
I'm telling you.
Sydney.
Oh, wait, no, oh, man. I've really got this confused. All right, make sure I never use any phrases like that ever again. Either way.
Basic English.
Yes, exactly right. Geelong take down Brisbane quite comfortably by 41 points.
It was a big game.
Yeah, I mean...
This is arguably the biggest win of the year for any team.
Very, very true, considering that Brisbane are kind of that threshold of, when you get to legitimacy or not. And it's not like Geelong have never been legitimate, but it's more the fact that the way Geelong handled them was really, really strong and honestly quite concerning for Brisbane. You still always believe, because they're back-to-back premiers now, that they're going to have their moments and they're always going to be legitimate. They know how to win games, but they're coming off of 3 grand finals in a row. Are we maybe starting to see this team begin to slow down a bit, or is this just a minor hiccup before they start ramping up towards the back end of the season?
I feel like they've already had a couple minor hiccups, and that's a bigger issue for them now, because it's not the first time that they've had a bad loss. They lost to Melbourne at the MCG earlier in the year, had a couple poor performances outside of that as well, so they're only sitting 6-4 at the moment. They're a game in front of St Kilda. If you're only a game in front of St Kilda at the moment, I think you're going pretty poorly.
Yeah, especially coming off as premiers. Yeah, definitely.
So the big thing for them was the stoppage issues. They just weren't able to really defend Geelong at all. And then the new ball movement that Geelong showed really did sort of trick Brisbane a little bit. Got to give shout out to Chris Scott in this one. He moved Jack Henry forward and essentially tried to nullify Harris Andrews. He wasn't on him the entire time, but it was just an option there. And it basically forced Harris Andrews to either be defended by Jack Henry or to be further up the field than he wanted, and then the ball would just go over his head, and then Brisbane from there couldn't really do anything. So this was a coaching masterclass by Chris Scott.
When is he not? I feel like we've talked about him a lot as of recent in terms of how good of a coach he is. But
they could be a dog shit team, and he'd just will them to a final. If he was coaching Essendon, he'd be able to bring them to a final.
Wrong Scott brother, apparently, is the word from
I think they got
Mr.
confused. I think Essendon got confused.
They thought they were getting Chris Scott. I can't believe he's on the market. I can't believe it.
We only have to pay $2 million a year for him? And then they realised,
that's
why.
Okay. Either way, in terms of individual performances, Shaun Mannagh probably with the best performance of the night, despite Bailey Smith being the big one on the score sheet. Shaun Mannagh with 5 goals, 30 possessions. I loved the quote as well from Jeremy Cameron. Come back when you do 30 and 7. That was great. Shout out
don't
Jeremy
kick
Cameron.
7 goals, 5, Jetta. How about that? Come back when you kick accurately.
Kick another 10 for us, please. But yeah, Cats won this one very convincingly, and I think that puts them top 2. Does it not?
Third.
They're third.
They're 2 games behind second.
Yes, that's right.
Still
We've got a real
distance.
distinctive outlier between the top 2 and everyone else at the moment. But yeah, Geelong, they're the real deal. I think we talked a couple of weeks ago about contenders and pretenders. For me, they are so in the contender column now.
We both had them in there, and it just showed why.
Yeah, very much so. So, I mean, the questions are opened up for certain, but Geelong are putting themselves in the driver's seat for the season, which is exactly what they need and almost exactly what we expect nowadays. Geelong just always find ways to put themselves in the driver's seat for the season.
And the team that's in the driver's seat for the entire season so far has been Sydney, and Collingwood just not able to do enough to get over the line.
They find ways, Collingwood, though. They always do to keep themselves in it. There's a part of me that always has that question with this Collingwood side. Will they show the best of themselves, or will the kind of floor that is so low and we've seen before, will that start to show up in crunch time or just in games in general? And we got it, unfortunately, in the crunch time scenario where Sydney were able to just pinch it. They got kind of lucky. I'll be completely honest. They did get kind of lucky, but at the same time, fantastic performance from, honestly, both sides. Both sides played pretty well.
Absolutely. I thought Collingwood, the way that they set up, they completely blocked the corridor off. And Sydney with their handball game, because you've got to do it short, you've got to get numbers. And when you're essentially now even with numbers, it's a lot harder to be able to get that extra on where you can draw the opponent and then give the hands to get them in space. Collingwood are able to defend that really well just by simply having the numbers there. And it really stalled Sydney. And this is what I was talking about last week when I'm just like, I don't know how often they'll be able to do this in the back half of the season because teams will find how to stop it. And it was a pretty simple move. Just have plays in the corridor and you really nullified their ball movement. And they were able to then force turnovers. And if a team is able to do this and they have better options forward of the ball that actually has a non-VFL forward line, they're going to be able to kick a bigger score against Sydney. They won't just put up 65 points. They'll be able to put up 80.
I think they put 75 on the board, Collingwood in this one. But either way, 100 plus is kind of what you're thinking against teams like Sydney. That would really work out well.
And Sydney aren't the best defensive team. That's not what they're known for. So a better team or a more talented team forward of the ball will be able to do this against Sydney. And I thought it was very well done, though, that they were able to turn it around because it was the first time really that they were able to be stopped. For them to actually have a plan that was able to get them the win was very crucial.
Yep. The expected tag on Nick Dacos as well from James Jordan. That one came through. Dacos probably still was one of their best players.
He was their best forward. Like they chucked him almost full forward at times.
2 goals. They've done that a few times this year when he's started to get a bit either quiet or really ramp it up. They need to give him a rest somewhere. They always put him forward, and it seems to be paying off well instead of just not utilising him and how good he is instead of giving him that rest on the bench. They say, all right, catch your breath down in the forward line and work your magic when it does get down there. And 2 goals in there, 28 disposals. It's not like his ceiling, but at the same time, that's a pretty good output for someone who's getting tagged pretty heavily.
So absolutely.
So impressive on Collingwood's side. And then, like you said, it wasn't an individual performance. I want to give a shout-out to Jordan De Goey. He's been showing a lot more positive signs over the last bit. His consistency's always kind of been a problem, and mainly due to injury. But De Goey, been really solid as of recent. Wanted to give my flowers to him. And then, they're just relying on a full team lineup to keep them going, although they did lose Oscar Steen.
Yeah, so unfortunate.
Yeah, and not just after that, but during the time he was on the field, Brodie Grundy was just doing whatever he wanted. Inexperience really did him dirty there.
Yeah, he's arguably the most informed player in the league.
Grundy, I think, is, if it's not Max Gawn, it's Grundy. It's those two that are, once again, at the top of the table for the ruckman this year.
I'm not
for that
even
AA
considering
spot.
just ruckman. I'm in terms of just players.
He
is one of the
34 disposals.
Arguably top 5 players so far this season.
He's been fantastic, absolutely.
He just has continued his form from the back end of last year, where it's just like, how did Melbourne get nothing back for him? How are Collingwood still paying his contract?
It all comes down to form.
It's just nuts, the turnaround from this bloke. He has just done so much to be able to get back to where he is, and you've got to credit it. He was the one who was giving the best service possible to his mids.
Yep.
And they're more talented than Collingwood in the midfield anyway, but when they're getting that direct service, because you're going up against Ned Long, obviously you're going to be able to storm home. But for Collingwood, it's just a good game plan does a lot, but again, when you just don't have that talent elsewhere, you can't do a whole lot.
So where do they make the change? Do they even make a change from here on? Do they just find out? Do they just take what worked in this one and use it again next week? Do you reckon that something like this again? Because who do they play next week? Obviously, we'll work all that out. West Coast. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no. I think for West Coast, it's definitely good just clamping it down in the middle, make it so that they have to try and beat them off of pure talent. And sure, West Coast are showing signs, but we'll talk about that later. For this one, though, just very positive on both sides, which I think both sides are going to be okay with. Of course, Collingwood wish they had the 4 points to go along with it, but Sydney take it and put themselves and cement themselves in that top 2 with Fremantle, who we are not talking about in this one. The other one I wanted to talk about was Nam and Hawthorn. This one really goes to show you Demons are there. The Demons are going to be playing finals this year. It's just, for me, it's a done deal. These guys are playing.
Done deal.
These guys are playing finals.
A done deal.
Yeah, I mean they're 5th place right now. So obviously, one step outside of the top 4. They play a consistent game style. This is the thing. It's not just they're catching these guys off guard. Which sure, maybe in this scenario you could say that Hawthorn were down a few. They didn't have Barras, I don't believe.
No,
they didn't have Gunston. So there's the obvious outs, but at the same time, I don't know if those guys are stopping the way that the Demons like to play as well as people would like to think. So a lot of credit to their just whole side. There was no outstanding player for Melbourne in this one to me.
Yeah.
If we were to give shout-outs, Thomas Sparrow has taken a massive leap this year. He's been fantastic. Jack Steele, I know this will probably hurt, but he did his impact. He did his thing. I'm so shocked how well he's translated to this type of game style. I'm really shocked how well that's translated. But either way, Max Gawn didn't have his craziest game, but at the same time, still provided the service. I honestly think that Hawthorn's 2-ruck scenario did get the best of Max in this one. But at the same time...
they had, Max Heath as well?
Yeah, Max Heath too. But then again, Max Heath only had the 7 hit-outs. It's not like he was providing all that much help. Yeah. Only 25% of game time too. I'm not sure whether that was due to injury or not. But Lloyd Meek and Ned Reeves both combined for 42 hit-outs. 42 disposals would be nuts.
Yep.
Either way.
2 ruckmen.
Yeah, either way. That 2 ruckman scenario definitely beat Gawn in the middle, but it's his all-around ground performance that puts Max Gawn above those guys.
Yeah.
I think, Max Gawn had 18, I believe? Yeah, 18 touches to Ned Reeves and... why am I forgetting his name again?
Lloyd Meek.
Lloyd Meek, that's it. They both had 8 disposals combined. So it goes to show you that the reason Max Gawn will probably be considered the winner in this matchup is because of everything outside of the initial ruck battle and the first service that those Hawks mids were giving. But it just goes to show you that this midfield of Hawthorn clearly just isn't enough to get it done.
No. And when you're losing 2 of their best 3 players as well, when you're losing Barras and you're losing Gunston, your bookends are just gone. Like, you can't have Harrison Petty kick 3 goals in the first quarter. I'm sorry.
that made you feel weird, didn't it?
No reasonable fullback would ever let that happen. Unless you're Anthony Caminiti and you're letting Jacob Van Rooyen kick 6 goals.
To be fair, was it Josh Battle who let it happen? Yeah, there you go. You're having your moment again. You get your Josh Battle hate watch moment again.
Yeah, and Harrison Petty hate watch. Bit of both.
There's not much to hate about him. He did his job, honestly, considering his job is... Good. Yeah, exactly right. You hate that the one spot you think he's just not worth putting, he ended up doing really well to start off with.
For a quarter.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's better than most. He doesn't usually have a quarter. 3 goals in any quarter is a positive for Harrison Petty. Makes a good game. Am I wrong?
Not really.
Yeah, exactly right. But I said, overall, this is fantastic from all aspects. And it's just crazy that the young guys continue to be the ones that they can stand on to show consistency.
Yep.
Like, obviously, Latrell Pickett's aren't the guys you're looking at just yet, but he's been pretty good for what he can provide this season. Harvey Langford is already a consistent 2 goals every week.
Really solid
I
player.
love... Why am I forgetting his name? That's how young he is. I can't remember him off
Sharp.
the top of my... You know it straight off the... You know it already. Harry Sharp.
Exactly who you're talking about.
Harry Sharp is fantastic to watch. I love Harry Sharp. He is just one of those go-getters, if that makes sense.
Speed demon.
Yeah, exactly right. There is not a single contested ball that he doesn't think is his. Not a single one. He just goes for it and goes for it and goes for it. The second efforts that, any coach at any level would love. He just shows it in spades. It's great stuff. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Either way, the main point being these guys are just all over the park. Yep. Fantastic.
They run games out really well.
Exactly.
So they're just a really fit team. Around the other games, though, Gold Coast got another win up in Darwin. Surprise, surprise. 25 points over the Power.
They've just been chipping away with these small wins. They've not dominated like we thought they would to start the year, but they've just been consistently chipping away, and it's found themselves in the top 4 still. I'll tell you what, I did not see this team still being a top 4 side.
Really?
I thought Hawthorn would have them. But Hawthorn have dropped the ball a little bit as of recent, and so Gold Coast take their spot.
Bodie Hewland was phenomenal. I thought he's just had a year and a half. Like, he's probably pushing AA. I'm disappointed I didn't have him as my surprise most improved because he was probably the one right up.
Under the radar, I think, is because all the names coming in, you'd think that Bodie Hewland maybe takes a step back in that sense.
Just hasn't. Yep. He's been phenomenal. And then for the Power Butters, did what he does. But aside from that, they're not that good of a team.
They just don't have the tools.
No, they don't, which is sort of where we saw them at. Your boys, North.
Oh, God.
10 goals in a quarter. 10 goals for.
Oh.
The Bulldogs, let me put it this way. The Bulldogs are averaging 70 points over the last 5 weeks. You let Adelaide put that up in a quarter.
Yeah, I know. It's completely unacceptable, especially because of the way North has been playing in most recent games. Like, they've been giving these top sides a bit of a run for their money. And I was really thinking that Adelaide would be on the back foot in this one. Just absolutely not. And it's just the worst team to let it happen to. Mainly, for me, it's the worst thing because it's Riley Thilthorpe who often provides most of our problems with Adelaide.
Yeah,
obviously, it wasn't just
playing.
him. He wasn't even playing in this one, but Adelaide has always been the benchmark for me because they've got players that we could have had that if we had picked him over, I believe if we had picked him over Will Phillips, we could have picked him. Maybe I'm thinking Thilthorpe.
No, it was picked 2.
That's right, it was picked 2. Either way, just the fact we were so close to getting him would have been a massive change for us. Yeah. But yeah, these guys were just a class above in that second quarter. And to win by 11 goals, again, it's another scenario where one quarter lets us down. It's really, really poor. But I won't go yapping on forever about that. I really could. I really, really could.
Just the one thing I noticed, Adelaide had 67 tackles around the ground. North had 30. Adelaide still had 67 more disposals.
Yeah.
So they had more disposals by a significant amount and had almost double your tackles around the ground.
It's just the way that North can't lose like that. They pride themselves on pressure football, and that's just the opposite of what they showed.
Yeah. Crlton
versus the Dogs. I'd seen this coming.
we both seen it coming, man.
Yeah. We both saw this coming. New coach gets a win. Mm-hmm. Paddy Cripps now has I saw a graphic for Paddy Cripps. First game under a new coach, which is a wild stat to have. He's had it 4 times. 4 times he's had a ripper game under the first game for a new coach. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean, but the fact that he's consistently showed a good game once a new coach has come around.
If you're West Coast and you bring him on next year, do you just sack a coach every single week?
Every week to get the best out of Paddy? I don't know. Maybe something they could test out. Either way, disappointing for sure for the Dogs.
Very. Their stars just weren't able to do it. Like, Bont didn't have anywhere near his best game. He got manhandled. Ed Richards looks really sore. And then, like, is Riley Sanders your best midfielder aside from Bont? Like, He's 21?
This team is just reeling from all their injuries. This team is in dire shape compared 100%. To where they started off.
The Blues are just able to sort of dominate the ball. They averaged, I think, had 30 more marks than what they normally do on average. And someone like Matt Carroll, who I'm loving at the moment, loved him last year. Big wingers, they do it. Who kick goals? So, really good player at the moment.
Yep. Essendon versus Fremantle.
Pat Voss revenge game. Let's leave it there.
Just poor from Essendon as well.
Yeah.
Just real poor. And then Euroke versus Richmond.
Just did what we had to do, I guess.
I heard some big numbers coming from Saints Nation in terms of margins.
Not from me. Maybe from Peter Griffin.
Well, that's not very nice, is it?
He won't be listening. I can tell you that much.
We had Wallage Marawa. That's it. And GWS. I don't know why I've switched to their names now.
You're just a psychopath.
I honestly didn't even recognize that the names were different.
I think you're just not normal.
Yeah, there's a chance. But look,
Harley
West Coast.
Harley Reid legacy game, man.
He's had a few legacy games.
He has been very impressive.
His ceiling is starting to hit or get closer to his ceiling every single week. Mm-hmm. He's still got a few consistency problems that I will point out because I really think he can become one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, with the build and the way that he's playing, especially the market he's playing in. You already know that they're going to talk a big game for Harley Reid, but just fantastic. Leadership, quality level stuff from Harley Reid shows why West Coast so badly wanted to keep him around. But that is round 10 done and dusted. So we've looked through everything there, and next we get to move on to, I think our producer just fell off his chair. He got scared by the image. Either way, we've got the best segment on Zaf next up.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Emmy's TT. Only one this week, so we'll keep it a bit short and sweet.
That's all right.
Just like Ethan.
Wow. You realise he's going to make us talk for 15 minutes about Scott Pendlebury now.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to the next segment and be like, shut up, keep going.
If you haven't seen it, you're welcome to take a look now. We've got it playing on the back. Copyright and YouTube, please don't scroll us over. Nick Vlastuin tackles Ryan Burns. Technically
not
doesn't...
the goat.
Yeah, not my goat. Technically doesn't pin an arm, but there is very clearly two actions in this dumping tackle. There is, it's very clear. He has slung him essentially over his back, and I'm just like, how has he been given off? There is two actions. He has not provided a duty of care.
Honestly, I'm surprised you're not asking for a prison sentence.
Just hold. Just hold. I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there yet. You're going to mention it soon. Okay, that's fine.
I've seen worse tackles be given 8 weeks. I've seen less tackles be given 3 weeks. Paul Curtis got a 3-week suspension on Tristan Cherry. I think it was Tristan Cherry.
Paul Curtis got it?
Oh, no,
He tackled Tristan Cherry, did he?
Who? Was it Tristan Cherry who got the 3? No.
Tristan Cherry, who tackled, what's his name, from Melbourne, right?
Yeah, because Paul Curtis got a 3-week one against Port. And Tristan Cherry got
one
a
against
3-week one.
I think it was Sparrow.
Could have been. Just mix them up. They are both less tackles than this in terms of danger and harm.
Yeah.
And yet this guy got off. I have no doubt he only got off because it's Richmond and they need players. I am so, but this is like more than 3 weeks. This is a 5-week suspension.
Because they're down to 25 active players now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, lost Campbell Gray.
Although they do have a couple players who were rested, so they should be fine. But this is careless. This is at least, just because he didn't get concussed doesn't mean it's not arguably severe impact.
Do you reckon it's Ryan Burns slander?
Absolutely. If this was Naz, there's getting 10 weeks.
How dare they discriminate against my goat?
I think there should be a 12-week suspension now that I'm really it's Ryan Burns.
Are we going back to the prison sentence thing?
I think closer to public execution would be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, that's an interesting segment of Behmmy. That's probably the wildest Behmy's TT segment we've ever had.
I'm all for it.
Do you want to do your application shout out for the MRA position after that?
Michael Christian. Coming for you.
I'm here for the death penalty. Don't look at me like that. You were the one making the public execution.
Marie Antoinette. Michael Christian.
What the hell is that?
Oh, you don't know ball?
What?
Everybody gets cake.
Unbelievable.
Let them eat cake.
Let's go to Macca's Man of the Week because I'm lost now. I'm lost on this. Either way, Macca's Man of the Week. This one was a week that, again, it was wild. So I wanted to go to the games that were most impactful.
Okay.
The ones that, probably were the toughest one to shine in the most.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I've got a lot of games here and a lot of honourable mentions. So I want to start with the honourable mentions of people who are probably more consistent.
Segment bores me.
Shut up. Honestly, just because I'm not asking for public execution.
Get to the point.
All right.
To the point.
Honourable mentions are Bailey Smith, Justin McInerney, Bailey J. Williams, Paddy Cripps, and Brodie Grundy.
Thank you.
Big shout out to Bailey Williams because I don't remember the last time he's done anything close to that.
I don't think he would have done that if you put him into a VFL game.
And he's done it against Kieran Briggs.
Kieran Briggs is dog shit.
Yeah, evidently he's just lost his aura.
Got the cheese touch.
I love the Darwin Wimpy convention. Good on you. Nice work. Let's go 1 vote. I've given it to Harley Reid. It's against GWS. Not the craziest team to beat, but massive credit to him because it was a game that they've been in some real poor form as of recent. The fact that he's managed to lead them to a big win like that against GWS is fantastic for them. 2 votes I gave to Shaun Mannagh. Shaun Mannagh, 5 goals 30 is not something I expected from the bloke.
No.
Easily could have put Bailey Smith in this spot, but I gave it to Shaun Mannagh because who expects Shaun Mannagh to do that?
No one.
And especially against Brisbane. So really solid
Yep.
effort. And 3 votes I've given to Nick Blakey.
Okay.
It was him or Brodie Grundy. Again, another interchangeable spot because I think while Grundy was fantastic in his own right and did what he needed to do, Blakey, I mean, the impact that he has off the halfback, especially in a game like that, I think Blakey just had more of an impact in terms of those final minute moments where he needed to make that step up, especially when Collingwood were pushing them outside and keeping them from using their regular game plan. He stepped up.
That was the world where you had Justin McInerney 1 vote, Brodie Grundy 2 votes, Nick Blakey 3 votes.
Potentially.
Sydney Swans buyers over here, man.
What's the problem?
That's crazy.
They're number 1.
Disappointing.
They're number 1.
Number 1.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't be giving them so much bias or so much credit as a North fan after they beat us the other week.
You're a Trojan horse North fan.
North
Infiltrating
fan.
the ranks.
Just as grand final day comes around, I burst out in the Sydney Swans mascot outfit.
Cheer the red and the white.
All right. Let's go donkey of the week. I didn't really have a donkey of the week. I didn't write this.
This is my mention.
Yeah.
So they had all the 400 gamers at MCG. I think it was yesterday. So all of them were there. They did some interviews, obviously to celebrate Scott Pendlebury's 433rd record-breaking game. Brent Harvey, in one of these interviews that he did, essentially said Scott Pendlebury's making it all about himself.
When did he say that?
Said it in a joking manner.
I hope so.
But I don't think he is joking.
Scott
Pendlebury.
You wouldn't be joking, would you?
He loves this. He's loving it more than anything.
Hey, he's played the most.
I don't think a player has ever done. I think everyone should do it the Dusty way. Play this big game and then just fuck off. Like,
I knew the producer would get antsy about this. I knew he'd get up and about
he's
it.
quivering in his boots.
He's like, I can't take the Scott Pendlebury slander. I like this part because I know everything about it is being cut, or there's like going to be a censor over everything said in here. It's just going to be the audio is randomly going to get cut for this entire segment. But basically, the live change, by the way. I can't wait to see what the photo is. Either way, why do you think...
I know which photo he's going to try to choose. No.
I think I know as well.
No. Don't do it,
I don't
producer.
think that'll put him in some precarious scenarios.
It's just a photo with me and my uncle JMC.
Oh Jesus! Look, I don't think he actually is. I'm pretty sure Scott Pendlebury seems to be a down to earth bloke. It's more
as down to earth as a down to earth bloke can be.
Yeah, in that scenario,
playing 433.
Yeah, when the AFL
games.
is making it all about you. To be fair, I don't know. I don't think Scott Pendlebury is the one saying this game better be for me, right?
No. It's just
I just hope
a bit of love and fun.
I just hope that Harley Reid gets his number on the back of his jersey painted gold.
Can he get the 50 games in the gold?
I think so. That's future GOAT material we were talking about just before.
The bigger milestone is Harley Reid. Like,
He's going to have a better game.
He's going to have 50 and 3.
Do you reckon 50
Scott
disposals
Pendlebury's going to have
games?
3 and 50 metres gained.
You reckon he's going to have 50 disposal for 50 games? You know how goated that would be to do that on the record-breaking
Scott
game?
Pendlebury has 4 touches.
Injures
3 goals, 3.
Injures him. He's moved on because he doesn't want us to talk about injuring Scott Pendlebury.
Well, the big picture or debate that we have for this week, the big topic, is also Scott Pendlebury. Can you believe it? Can you believe
The
it?
producer's really excited about this one. Look, I remember when Boomer broke the record. I was so just over the moon for it. So you know what? I understand the feeling, all right? You can get excited. You can be happy about Scotty Pendlebury. It's not like you guys get everything else, but you can have this one as well.
God forbid they don't play a game away. They have to do it here in Melbourne.
Yeah, I know.
God forbid.
You know AFL teams, sorry, not AFL teams, but
You do realize you played us at our home game, our home venue.
Oh, so you mean Collingwood would get an extra home game? It's not technically their home game. Is that what he's trying to chirp
you reckon
to me
Marvel
about?
counts as travelling to Collingwood?
Yes. If Richmond complain about it, why wouldn't Collingwood?
Yeah, Collingwood definitely say, oh, we have to travel down to Marvel today.
Oh, God, we've got to take a train. Oh, Look at us. We're poverty. Oh,
I want to take my private jet from Collingwood to the MCG.
oh, look at me. We're Taylor Swift. Oh.
But let's go back on topic here. With Scott Pendlebury breaking the record, who do you reckon is the bloke to next reach 400 games? Because for me, I know who it is off the top of my head. Right off the top of my head.
It's a really tough one. I think Danger's technically the closest,
Danger's technically the closest, yes.
but I don't think he'll ever get there.
For me, it's Jack Crisp. Has to be, right? How old's Jack Crisp?
It's like 32.
Pendles is 38, is he not?
Yeah, I don't think Jack Crisp is playing till he's 38.
He can get to can he get to 400 games? How many in a row has he played? Maybe it's because he didn't get the games in early. Maybe that's the reason.
He's turning 33.
Turning 33, that's right. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong with that.
He has played. Where is it?
Yeah, so 284 total games right now. He needs to play 120 more. If he gets finals games in, a couple of those,
he
maybe
needs to play 160 more games.
he needs to keep the streak going for another 4 years at least, I think, in order to get himself in the conversation. But I don't know. Maybe Crisp is a bit of a reach. Yeah, he'd have to be pretty up there. I guess in terms of longevity, you'd have to go to then. Who do you reckon would be playing in that well of form for as long as they have? Yeah, Paddy Dangerfield is a good shout. I'm trying to think who else in the 300 game club could potentially do it.
He's played 284 games. He'd still need, if Pendlebury plays most of the rest of the year, let's say he gets to 440. He'd still need to play 160 games. That's essentially 8 years.
I'm not talking to break his record though. To 400 though, you're right. It'd still be like 4 to 6 years.
It's 6 years.
He'd need to be playing finals. He'd need to keep the streak alive. Yeah, you've got a good point. Maybe I'll take back the Jack Crisp one.
I just don't think so.
Yeah,
but
I forgot that he's in his early 30s. I thought because he's been playing so many games for so long, maybe he is just still about to reach 30. No, he's still. He's unfortunately a long ways to go to get to 400. You forget how tough a task 400 is. You think because you see a bunch of players get to 300, you think it's an easy task, but it really isn't. But 400 is a very, very tough decision. I honestly couldn't tell you who's been playing a lot of games since they were young.
Bit underrated is like Andy Brayshaw. He's played 180 so far. By the end of the year, he'll get to 195.
Do you reckon Bont is a shout?
200. How many games has Bont played? He's not at the 300 yet.
He's not at the 300, but he's over 250.
Games played.
He's definitely over
267.
Yeah, okay. I think Bont could be one.
Played 268 after the weekend.
How old
is
he? He's just hit 30, right?
31, turning 31 this year. So, 130 games, 6 years. He could easily get to 400.
I think if there's a player, Max Gawn as well is another one I wanted to point out.
Yeah, very well could.
Max Gawn his game feels timeless. Brodie Grundy's another. I feel like if we're talking the next person to do it, it's whoever out of those three, Grundy, Gawn, and Bont off the top of my head, that stays around the longest or stays the most healthy.
I reckon Andy Brayshaw.
Give Andy Brayshaw
He's already played 180 games. By the end of the year, he'll get to 190. All he needs to do is play 10 more years.
And some finals.
And he's there. And he's only 27. So if he plays 8 more years, gets a fair few finals, that brings him to just under 380-ish. He's right there. There's
some players, it's all about injury health. It's all about, longevity. How well can they play at the top of their game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly an exciting question because, moments like this, we've probably been really spoilt to have Boomer and Pendles both break the game record in a pretty,
10 years.
In the last 10 years, 2 people to break this crazy record is nuts. They didn't do the gold number for Boomer, but they did put his name on the jersey. I remember that. Or they put 432, I believe, something like that. Or it was 427. It was his game-breaking one because Michael Tuck, the guy on the left of that photo, was the guy who had it before Boomer.
Yeah.
Of course, you got legends like Sean Burgoyne, Dustin Fletcher, all those guys in there. You honestly forget that it's the guys you least expect.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, someone like Andy Brayshaw, you wouldn't expect him to get, but he absolutely could. And then, the other name is Harry Sheasel because it's going to be playing 90 games after 4 years.
Yeah.
That's on track.
You got to look at the players who have been playing a lot since they were young and have relatively good health.
Yeah. Correct.
Wardlaw is way out of it now, if we're talking North players.
Already.
Ashcroft would probably be out of it because he had a year off for the ACL.
If Levi Ashcroft plays 26 games every year of his career, You never know.
He just plays in a grand final every year.
Hey,
Screw it.
he's on track. He's on track.
He's ready for the moment. Look at him go. Look, I'm just really excited to see Pendles play this weekend.
Yeah.
It'll just be a fantastic. It's one you can't miss. I feel like it's just going to be one. It's going to be a moment in time that you look back on and think, where were you?
Yeah.
Especially because it's the club itself. Collingwood is the biggest club in the AFL. Well, no, West Coast technically is, but Collingwood for Victorian sides, unfortunately, is the most popular club.
West Coast is bigger than Collingwood. This is Harley Reid's 50th. Is bigger, officially confirmed, is bigger than Scott Pendlebury's 433rd.
I reckon this whole thing was
It's not
planned.
even a milestone. 433. What is 433? It's a soccer form lineup. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about?
me trying to get my FIFA team in order. What's a SP 433?
See, I reckon it's going to be a bigger game when he gets to 442. 4-4-fucking-2, hey? I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
I think we've well and truly ruined
I'm
this
trying
segment.
to move away from Scott Pendlebury playing basketball, okay? That's what I'm trying to do.
They do love talking about that,
That's what I'm
don't
trying
they?
to do.
Oh, I hate this producer, and I love him. I can't stand it. But congratulations to Scott Pendlebury.
Schrodinger's woke.
Yeah, congratulations to Scott Pendlebury on being the new games record holder. Probably the last year we'll ever see him. How's that feel?
Maybe. You reckon he coaches?
3 more. Sign the contract. Hawthorn versus Adelaide to get ourselves started. Or Hawthorn versus Kawada. This one is going to be an interesting test for Hawthorn.
It will.
I think Adelaide are kind of playing a bit of free football, even after a convincing win the other day. But it's at Launceston. We've got a Thursday night game.
What a horrible game to have at Tassie.
What on earth is this fixturing?
I'm blown away.
Thursday night in Tassie?
It's going to be Watch it be snowing again. Maybe I want to see Sam Mitchell in his Dax.
What? This
Was that in Canberra?
This is the wildest video. This is like the wildest podcast we've had in a
turning
really
into
long
Fireball.
time. I know. This is unbelievable. Hawthorn, they are coming in as odds-on favourites. Do they get any players back? Do we know about any of that?
Gunston might be back. Barris definitely won't be.
And there's no one else that
it's
I'm forgetting
It's
here.
a very interesting game.
There's a lot of interesting moments, though, because Hawthorn are out of form in a big way now. They aren't putting Watson through that midfield rotation at all now. I'm not sure why. Unless I'm missing something.
It's just like, aside from him, like you're getting goals out of Moore, you're getting goals out of C-Mac, but aside from, there's no real other forward threat when Gunston isn't there.
But I think Watson can be plenty of forward threat coming through the midfield.
But I think it's more so you want C-Mac and Dylan Moore more involved up the ground because you know at least you'll get 3 goals out of Nick Watson at this stage of his so far this year. Like that's what you're getting every single week. So when you don't have Gunston, you sort of need him to be your full forward basically. Like he is that flamethrower for them. I'm just a bit like, it's Adelaide have now started to get into that handball chain, but Hawthorn are such a kicking dominant team. And their ball movement is really reliant on being able to find targets and really break down a team system. It's going to be a clash of 2 different teams. It's a big clash.
Yeah, for me, Hawthorn can only win this if they get their main forwards to really get involved. Mitch Lewis, I think, has been a nice story this year. I think it's been a positive story considering how rough of a start he's had to his career. Kalshadir needs to step it up. 100%. Kalshadir had some really easy misses. Like really easy shots that turned to misses in his game against Melbourne. So finishing with 0 goals too is something that he really would be upset about. Jack Ginnivan, he's obviously playing a bit more of an all-around the ground role, but I'd love to see him get a few more on the scoreboard. He's starting to become a little bit stagnant. You kind of expect him to get maybe 18 disposals now like he did against Melbourne, and that's it. So I'd like to see improvement from him. But yeah, like you said, it's all from the forward line for Hawthorn and Adelaide. If they just don't get caught up in their game style, they need to take what they did in that second quarter, which was playing fast, attacking football, and use that against every team. Sure, North are going to allow that a lot more than most other teams. Their transition defense has been noted as poor, but against other teams where they they have a decent enough backline to be able to take a few risks and play that type of aggressive game style that's working for most teams this year. And yeah, it feels like Adelaide are playing with a hand that they've willingly tied behind their own back. So I'm hopeful we can see that exciting play again from Adelaide in UTAS. But Hawthorn have been pretty good down there.
That's the thing. Gizzard's down there. I think there's also no Thilthorpe, no Walker. Walker might be back this week. Thilthorpe could potentially as well return. But I'd kind of hope that Adelaide play the long game and don't give Thilthorpe this trip. I'm just, because it's in Tassie, it's leaning me to Hawthorn. It's just, I can't see Adelaide being able to do it down there.
I'm leaning that way too. I think the step up has to show itself. I really want to see more involvement from Nick Watson though. That's just, it was doing so well for him when they were getting him in there. And I understand that they're trying to look for their goal spark down there, but Dylan Moore should be that. Connor McDonald should be that. If you're not going to do that, then have Connor McDonald run the midfield more often. He gets a rest. I've noticed he gets rested a lot more than I expected him to. But that's just a little nitpicky thing.
Yeah, I'm going Hawks by 22.
I'm going to go Hawks by 30. I think they could blow this to a 5-goal difference. Yeah, I'm just hopeful that Adelaide can play that same style they did against North, because if North's the only one to have seen that from Adelaide this year, I don't know what I'm going to do to myself. just a really, I can't believe that.
What a wild thing to say.
Here, how's this matchup? You ready for this one?
It's not Dreamtime at the G.
It's nightmares at the G.
No. This one is Dreamtime, just not at the G.
This is...
we did change this. We were a bit lacking.
What are we going to do?
We were meant to be talking about Fremantle St Kilda as the big game. But we'll start off with a nightmare at the G.
Did you change that? Because I'm almost certain I put Richmond Essendon.
Yeah, we changed that.
I wanted to choose this because it was hilarious to talk about. Dreamtime at the G involves the two worst sides in the comp.
So I went to this game last year. It wasn't the Dreamtime one.
It was the one that was notoriously really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I would pay money to go back in time and watch that game.
This is going to be worse.
I don't know. I feel like... it could be some exciting moments. I'm just worried one team is going to pull their finger out and actually play some decent football, because both sides have shown glimpses at times. Like Essendon beating Melbourne, like that was one. Richmond beating West Coast wasn't as much of...
Is it fair to say Richmond are in better form than Essendon?
No, not at all. Unless that game that you guys played against them showed you something else.
Too bad.
Okay. Then I'm open to being wrong. But I think Essendon have shown more signs of being a little better, despite their game against Freo last week. How do I tip for a meteor to hit the ground and this game gets cancelled?
I'd burn my eyes out, to be honest.
Maybe not for the spectacle. Look, the fact that they get to do this game each year, I love the fact that they do Dreamtime at the G. It's just a really nice cultural moment. But at the same time, if there's an argument for two teams to be taken out of this slot, you've got a good one for both sides.
It's like disappointing.
This should be Collingwood West Coast. This should be Collingwood West Coast.
I think that's just as bad.
No, not really.
You have this to like Dogs Melbourne.
That'd
Dogs.
Be good. Not Dogs right now. Don't give it to the Dogs.
I'd still rather than this game.
Melbourne, yes.
Let's get back to the game.
Look, it's very in the moment based, to be fair as well. But to the game itself.
Going Richmond. I said
I don't want to talk. There's no tactics to be talked.
I said I'm not tipping Essendon again.
That's a really good point.
I really can't change that now.
I'm gonna tip Essendon just to have a laugh when they eventually win it.
I'm going Richmond by 1.
I'm going Essendon by 1. Screw it.
If I don't get the tip right, I don't want to lose big. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I guess. Look, do you want to have a quick chat about Freo St Kilda?
Yeah, let's go top proper. Let's do this one.
All right, Freo St Kilda, this one. Look, if Saints pick them off, it's at Optus, so it is a Freo home game.
Yeah.
If Freo can somehow pick them off, if St Kilda can somehow pick them off, what do you think is the way that we should be looking at St Kilda? Because that would mean that that should feel like a solid finals performance, or like a finals solidifying, a team that at least should be making the wild card.
The way I'm looking at it is, we should be a wild card team. But over the next 3 weeks, we've got Fremantle in Fremantle, we've got Hawthorn at Marvel, and we've got Sydney in Sydney. There's got to be one of those that we win. And I think Hawthorn is the most likely, but I feel like the biggest would be Fremantle.
Fremantle would be a big scalp
It'd
right
be
now.
a huge scalp with no Naz as well. We're missing our best player. Alex Pearce should be back, but there's no guarantees. And then also no Hayden Young because he got concussed in training. It's an opportunity. It absolutely is. I think also when you consider Fremantle haven't been playing fantastic football by any means. They've just had really good patches in games. And then also that they've won, 9 straight now?
They're up to 9 straight.
You got to lose at certain times. Like you can't just win every game every year.
Have you got a bit of a why not us type of feeling in this one?
No, because that was a Brett Ryan 2022. I never want to hear that ever again.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Those were dark times.
I'm sorry to bring up PTSD like that, but yeah.
We didn't even have Lance on our list at that
I was
time.
very
Like,
big.
Don't ever say that
I was
again.
very big on Max Hall kind of taking the Naz role
He was
when he is out.
phenomenal, man. He
showed out against Richmond.
almost at every stoppage, he was the player to get his hands on the ball first.
I'm telling you, if
He
Max Hall
is
gets an opportunity, he is going to take
incredible.
it.
He is better than Murphy Reid. He's pushing Shea Bolton levels. He is such a good player.
I think he just needs to continue to work for that opportunity. Obviously, with Naz being the guy he is, you'd hope that Naz and Max Hall would find a way to work together. But Max Hall is a nice little backup to have.
We've historically always played well against Fremantle.
Fingers crossed.
We always batter their midfield as well. Obviously, the ruck's going to be huge. TDK and Marshall is now hitting the scoreboard every week. So if we can do that against Luke Jackson, that's where it is. Like the midfield battle is where it's going to be won and lost. I'm just like,
Do you
I
really
re-
think
I
Jack
really have
McRae is going to stand up against this midfield?
he had 30 touches, man. What do you mean?
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. Can you rely on that every week? Because he did it against Richmond.
This is the thing. It's just like I have hope, but at the same time, you can't go past Fremantle.
Yep, understood.
That's the way I'm looking at it. That's all.
Do we want to get our tips in for that one real quick?
Yep.
I'm going Freo by 30.
I'll go Fremantle by 13, but I'm very close to tipping St Kilda.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'll allow it. And final game here, Geelong versus Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about the most informed teams, Sydney have to travel down to GMHBA as well. That's what I'm finding funny about this. You got Sydney who could play the SCG in a big game like this, but you decide to put it at the GMHBA stadium.
So Geelong get the 2 best teams at the moment at GMHBA.
Hey, I guess that's the advantage of having an AFL standard ground as your training place. I don't know. Look, either way, Geelong, very impressive win against Brisbane. Handled business the exact way they needed to.
Yeah.
Had rises in that game, had everything they needed, and they've also been given hints as to what it could look like to win against Sydney. I'm really high on Geelong for this one because all the scenarios and all of the I guess outliers and factors for this game are just leaning in Geelong's favour. Too many things that I think, while Sydney, of course, are a fantastic side, Geelong, just in every scenario, have proven to me that they know how to work it out. They will find a way to turn the game on its head in their favour. So I think this will be one purely based off of structure. It doesn't even matter who Geelong puts out there, it feels like sometimes, but the structure that Collingwood showed last week, plus the fact that they're so much more versed to the ground that's being played, I think this is Geelong's to lose, and I genuinely think this could be blown out to a big lead.
I just think when you look at Sydney, they want a bigger ground because they need lesser numbers. Like when it's a more congested team, you can have numbers in the middle of the park much easier to be able to defend lesser ground. That works directly against Sydney. So I think ball movement-wise, they're going to struggle. This is going to be the first week where it's just like really put against them. And I think that leans heavily to Geelong. I also am just like, who the hell is stopping Jeremy Cameron? I think Jezza kicks 5. Minimum.
Jez absolutely could kick 5.
So I'm
especially
going
if he gets
Geelong.
around the ground, he gets himself a bit more freed up.
Yeah, I'm going Geelong by 27 and guaranteeing that Jezza kicks 5.
Oh, how much money you want to put on it?
$20.
You want to put 20 on it. So if he doesn't kick 5, I get 20?
Yep. No, you get 10.
Because you haven't shaken. All right, whatever. I'll take $10. I need it for the travel. Look.
Fuel prices aren't that bad, bro.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it free transport right now?
Yeah, sweet peso.
Happy days. Look,
For me.
I'm thinking Sydney really struggled to get going on this ground. I think it could be a really quick lead. I think Sydney have the tools to kind of work around how they keep themselves in the fight, but I think this is a Geelong win by 40+. I'm going to go 45. for Geelong. I think, just all the
Yeah.
factors. You've got coaching that will absolutely work its magic. The structure of the team, the ground, the talent available for Geelong. It feels like a perfect storm for a really, really rude awakening for Sydney.
Yeah. North Melbourne versus Gold Coast.
Do I do it?
How bad?
How bad do
you
Gold
want
Coast
it?
lose?
How bad do you want it?
How bad do I really want this win. If there's a week we need a scalp, we need it. I'm telling you, North need a scalp. They've been so close so many times. They really let themselves down last week. I think North win this one by 5 points. Gold Coast have looked shaky at times.
They have. I'm going Gold Coast by 11. Sorry.
Okay. At least it's close. I appreciate the little disrespect this time. Collingwood versus West Coast. They forget about the game and everyone just celebrates Scott Pendlebury and Harley Reid, but more Harley Reid.
I'm going West Coast by 12. Just because why not?
I'm going West Coast by 130.
You said it.
No. I take it back.
Your tip.
I'm going Collingwood by
Okay.
15. The AFL won't allow it. You'll see some real dodge calls in this one.
God, could you imagine the first kick he gets is a free kick? Port Adelaide versus Carlton.
Celebratory 100-metre penalty for Scott Pendlebury.
Port Adelaide versus Carlton.
Oh, God. At the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
Carlton can't ride that magic for too much longer.
Agreed.
Unless the choking factor is just completely gone now with the new coach. I'm going to go Port Adelaide win this one by 21.
Going Port by 19. GWS versus Brisbane. Interesting game here.
At Angie Stadium.
Yeah.
Brisbane, there's no way I think that Brisbane are going to allow themselves. To be fair, both of them are coming off of disappointing losses. They've both got a lot to prove themselves. I still think Brisbane have more of the tools, though, to outwork this team and to tactically outplay this team. So I'm going to go Brisbane, and I'm going to go by 33 points.
Going Brisbane by 50.
Ooh.
Big Dogs. GWS season done.
Western Bulldogs versus Melbourne. For me, it's Melbourne. In a big way.
In a big way.
Yeah, I think their game plan just works so nicely compared to the Dogs. Like, Melbourne has... I can't believe I'm saying this about Melbourne, but they have so many pieces that are working well together. I think Melbourne could take this one by 50.
Ooh.
I reckon this could be a really, really bad one for the Dogs. Melbourne by 53.
I'm going the Dogs. Going the upset.
All right,
I
that's
like
an
it.
interesting...
Doggies by 7 points in a close game. But I just think that the midfield won't be able to hold up if English is back. It all relies on Tim English being back.
Yeah, I guess so. Even then, Max Gawn is just so good. Either way, we'll leave it there. That is the second week of the Sir Doug Nicholls round. And this is what our tipping ladder is looking like. No new names in the top 5 for our tipping competition, but a lot of movement.
No
Footy
one
Pirate-
had a good week.
No one. Number 2 only got 4. And to be fair, he's not the only one who got 4. There are a lot of people who had 4 this week. I think, Noz had the 6. So that's pretty good.
Good shit, Noz.
That was pretty good
I
for
had
the
7.
week. You had 7 in
I had
there.
7.
What'd you guess for some of them? What were some of your upset tips?
I had Carlton winning.
Yeah, Carlton winning is definitely one that would have got a lot of people. Melbourne as well would have got a few, I reckon.
Yep.
Either way, that is the footy tipping competition. Be sure to join that one if you haven't already as well. And, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Everything is much appreciated, guys. Be sure to go follow us on all our socials, showing up on the back as well. You'll find us at Zero Access Footy. Appreciate you all coming in and watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon next week, hopefully, for another good one. Cheers.